Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to discuss about the MRA, that is mobile and remote access. So let's start it. So this MRA session would be divided into two parts, the part one and part two. In the part one, we are going to discuss something about the overview of MRA, deployment scenarios like the standalone deployment or the cluster deployment or the multi-cluster deployment. Then we will discuss about the certificates and then we will discuss about the DNS thing. This would be included in the part one. And in the part two, we will be discussing about the server setup, like what is the configuration. And then we have a certificates thing, like how we can upload the certificates, how we can generate the certificates, like CS signed certificates or root certificates. So we will discuss about all those as well. And then we will be discussing about the traversal zones as well in the second part. So for the first part, let's start it with the overview of MRA. Like what is MRA? As the name says, MRA, that is mobile and remote access, right? So just like take an example, you are running your Jabber outside your environment. Like your Jabber is connected with the internet, but you want to register it or configure it like with your internal environment, like with your CUCM. You want to register your Jabber, which is on the internet, on your CUCM. So that is mobile and remote access, MRA. It says MRA is a part of Cisco Collab Edge architecture. Cisco Collab Edge architecture, that means you should be having Cisco Expressways. That is, we can say Expressway Edge and Expressway Core, right? Because when you are on the internet, your Jabber or I can say other video endpoints, it's not just for the Jabber, it's for the video endpoints as well, which is like a EX series, MX series, and SX series, right? So those Jabber and the other endpoints will reach out to the collaboration edge, that is like Expressway Edge server, and then edge servers will connect with the core and then the CUCM and all. So we will discuss about that as well. So what it says, it allows endpoints to have their registration, call control, provisioning, and messaging provided by CUCM when endpoint is outside the enterprise network. Like let's suppose this is your internet. Left side is your company's network, that is your internal network, and right side is your internet. So let's suppose we can say this is the intranet. The left side one is intranet. So here you have a CUCM, and on the right side you have a Jabber endpoint, right? Which is on the internet. So in this internet and this CUCM, you will be having so many things installed in between, like Expressway Edge, Core, and the firewalls and the other things as well, right? And then it says Expressway provides secure firewall traversal and line side support for unified CM registration. So you will be getting the firewall support as well, like firewall traversal things as well in this Expressway. It says MRA provides the following functions. The first one is off-premises access. That's what I already discussed. Consistent experience outside the network for Jabber as well as EX, MX, and SX series clients. So these are your video endpoints. Then it says security. It is very secure, like there will be a secure business to business communication, right? Then the cloud services, enterprise grade flexibility, scalable solutions they are providing, rich Cisco WebEx integration and service provider offerings. This is one of the function as well. Then gateway and interoperability services, it says media and signaling normalization, and it is like supporting support for non-standard endpoints as well, right? So why are we using this MRA like our Jabber? Why do we need to connect Jabber, which is on the endpoint, which is on the outside your network? So it is actually reducing the overhead for the VPN. So now you can connect your Jabber, which is connected on the VPN. Like whenever you are at home, working at home, you need to connect the VPN. Only then your Jabber or any other endpoints connects with each other, connects with the internal network, connects with the corporate network. right? So we are reducing the need to connect that VPN client, and then we are just using the Expressway Edge and Core. So let's suppose this is the VPN connection. We will discuss about that as well with the help of diagram. So we will be just reducing this thing, and the Jabber will connect automatically with the help of internet, and then it will go to the Expressway Edge. How it will go to the Expressway Edge, that also we will discuss. Okay, so now as you can see in this slide, this is our CUCM, this is our firewall, and here you can see this is your Jabber endpoint. Correct? This is your Jabber endpoint, and this is your cloud. This is your internet. Uh, internet, I can say. This is connected with the internet. This can be your Jabber client, or this can be your video endpoint as well, like EXMX or SX series. So as of now, if you want to connect this endpoint with your CUCM, then this should be connected via this VPN thing, right? VPN should be there, and then only then it would get connect with this CUCM, right? But if we don't want to use the VPN, or maybe we want to reduce the thing, then what we can do? Cisco comes up with a solution that is Expressway Core and Expressway Edge, right? So you can see Expressway Edge and this Expressway Core, you have a firewall in between them as well, and you're having CUCM as well, and this is your video endpoint, that is EXMX, any series video endpoint. So as soon as it connects, it will go to this Expressway Edge. Then this Expressway Edge is connected with the Expressway Core, right? And then this Expressway Core will take that request to the CUCM, and then it will get registered, right? So you will be getting this firewall as well in after the Expressway Edge also, right? So let's discuss about that now. Okay, so now you can see the CUCM connection with the Expressway Core and Expressway Edge. It says this is MRA. MRA, right? So you can see MRA needs to be enabled on the Expressway Edge as well as on the Expressway Core, right? You need to enable MRA on both of the uh, Expressway Core and Expressway Edge. And there will be a connection between Core and Edge only. Edge would not directly connected with the CUCM or the IMAN presence or the Unity. No. Edge just know about the Expressway Core only, right? And now you can see Expressway connected with the CUCM, and Expressway can be connected with the IAM and presence as well. But Unity cannot connect directly with the Expressway core. Unity, you need to connect with the CUCM only, right? So now, if there is a request coming up from this video endpoint for the registration, what would be that request? So first it will say, hey core, someone wants to register. So Expressway Edge is saying this to core, because this endpoint needs to register it, then it will go to this internet, and then it will get a request to the, it will send a request to the Expressway Core. So sorry, it will get the request to the Expressway Edge. Now Edge is just having an address details for the Expressway Core only. So Expressway Edge is saying, hey core, someone wants to register. So there is I can say a real-time messages exchanging between the core and edge, and core is every time core is saying, hey edge, do you have something for me? Do you have something for me? Like this, right? So as of now, it says, hey core, someone wants to register. Then it will get a request from the edge. Then core will say, hey CUCM, someone wants to register, right? This will be the next step. And then CUCM will say, okay, core, let them register, because it is coming from the core and core is in the internal network. So CUCM is like, okay, it's a secure one. And how it is secure one? Because Expressway Core and Edge has a firewall between them. Everything would be secure if something is coming up on the core, right? So CUCM will say, okay, core, let them register. So that endpoint will get registered now. Then Expressway Core will tell to Expressway Edge, okay, Edge, let them register. Now Expressway Edge will send a request to the endpoint and it will say, okay, endpoint, you are allowed to register. Once all these steps are done, then only that your endpoint will get registered on the CUCM, right? So these steps are already written here as well. Like first step would be Edge, hey core, someone wants to register. Then core will say, hey CUCM, someone wants to register. Then next step would be CUCM, then again core, and again Edge. The same steps which I already discussed. Now it says, let's suppose you have an endpoint inside the firewall which is registered to the CUCM. Now these two endpoints can call each other and all other signaling will go through via CUCM. So in this example, you can see this endpoint is registered now. And let's suppose on this CUCM, you have a Jabber as well. Again, like someone is sitting in the environment and they are logged in on the Jabber. Now, both of these endpoints, this Jabber and this endpoint, which is on the internet, will be able to make a call to each other, right? Because this endpoint is registered now. This endpoint is registered on the CUCM now, right? And that's why it says all the signaling will go through CUCM. So in this case, if you want to, if you just want to see the signaling part, let's say this one. So signaling will go via this path. Let's suppose this is the Jabber. Signaling will go through this Jabber to the CUCM, to the core, to the edge, and to the endpoint. This is your signaling, right? And if you want to see the media path, media would be directly between this endpoint, like your Jabber endpoint, and the we can say this the Jabber the endpoint which is on the internet. So it will not go to CUCM, it will go via this path, Expressway Core, Edge, and then to this endpoint. Because without Expressway Core and Edge, media will not go. So media will go via this Expressway Core and signaling will go via this CUCM. That's why it says other signaling will go through via CUCM, but the actual media will go through the core and the edge, right? I hope this thing is clear to you. So let's move on. So now you can see it's a diagram where everything is showing connected. So let's discuss about this one. This is your internet. As here you can see EX endpoint, Jabber endpoint here on the internet. This is your Expressway Edge. This is your Expressway Core. This is your unified CM. This is your IAM and presence. And these are the endpoints, the Jabber endpoint, video endpoints, C-series endpoints, and the CTS. These all are connected with the CUCM, right? So now it says, it is just telling you what are the connections like SIP connection, XMPP connection, or the HTTP connection. Like in this case, it says SIP. So this IAM and presence and CUCM is connected via SIP. Unified CM and Expressway via SIP. So this is the SIP. This red line is going through Expressway Core and Dash to the internet and to the Jabber, EX endpoint. These all are SIP. If I talk about this XMPP, that is the blue one. So the connection between IAM and presence and Expressway, that would be via XMPP protocol, right? And then you can see the connection, it is showing up here as well as blue. That would be a XMPP. They're using XMPP. If you have any idea about the Jabber, how the protocol will work and what all other protocol will work and between which endpoints, then you know about this XMPP thing. And then the HTTP. So the connection between this, you can see CUCM and Expressway Core, that is the HTTP connection. Again, this core and edge, again, this edge and internet. So this green one would be the HTTP connections. This is just a normal diagram, how the things are connected with each other, like CUCM, Expressway Core, Expressway Edge. I hope you remember I told you in the maybe first or second slide, there will be two firewalls. One firewall would be in between Expressway Core and Edge, and one firewall is in between Expressway Edge and the internet. This firewall is having all the security to allow the endpoints which are on the internet. Only then after passing from this firewall, it will come to Expressway Edge. Again, there is an internal firewall. This is an internal firewall. Then it will check all the securities as well, and then it will go to the Expressway Core. That's why CUCM will directly say, okay, Core, I'll register that endpoint, because CUCM knows everything is coming up via the firewall. So now it says a call flow, that is signaling and media paths. We already discussed as well, like what are the signaling path and what would be the media path. That's one. So let's discuss about this one. Let's just read it out. Unified CM provides call control for both mobile and on-premises endpoints. So call manager is providing call controlling for both mobile endpoint. Mobile endpoint would be the endpoint which is on the internet. On-premises endpoint which is registered on this CUCM internally, not the externally. This endpoint would also get registered, but this is on the internet. That's why we are calling it as a mobile endpoint, and the endpoint which is sitting in the environment, sitting in the internet, that we can call it as an on-premise endpoint. Okay, then it says signaling traverses the expressway solution between mobile endpoint and the unified CM. This is the path for signaling. It will go to the CUCM. Let me just change it. So it will just go to this CUCM and then Expressway Core, Edge, Internet, and then the mobile endpoint. This is your signaling path, right? And now if we discuss about the other one, that is the media, it says media traverses the Expressway solution and is relayed between endpoints directly. So endpoint, this is the endpoint. It will not go to CUCM. It will directly go to this Expressway Core, then to the Edge, then to the Internet, and then to the mobile endpoint. And it says all media which is traversing through this one, like all media which is going from on premises to the core to the edge to the mobile endpoint, is encrypted. It is encrypted between the Expressway Core and the mobile endpoint. So from this Expressway Core to the mobile endpoint, the media would be encrypted, right? So as you can see, this is a call signaling and media would be the blue one. Okay, now let's discuss about the three things, that is the core components in the mobile and remote access, the protocols which we are going to use, and then the main, that is Jabber client connectivity without the VPN. That is what actually we are discussing, that is mobile and remote access. That is without VPN, we need to connect the endpoints which are on the internet. Okay. So first we are having this core components thing. So core component, it says MRA solution requires Expressway and Unified Call Manager with MRA compatible soft clients and or fixed endpoints. So this MRA requires Expressway and Call Manager, like Expressway Core and Expressway Edge, and the Call Manager with MRA compatible soft clients, that is Jabber or the video endpoints. Okay, that is one. Next one, this solution can optionally include IAM and presence service and the Unity connection. As you saw it in the previous diagrams, I was able to add this IAM and presence and the Unity connection in that diagram. And then it says normal basic configuration you need to do on the Expressway Core and on the Expressway Edge. Normal configuration, we talk about this core and edges, like you need to enable the MRA. You need to enable MRA on Expressway Core as well as on the Expressway Edge. Next thing, what you need to do, you need to configure the DNS as well. You need to configure your CUCM server, IP details, or CUCM server as well, right? These would be the configuration you you need to do on the core and edge. So CUCM configuration you need to do only on the core, because CUCM connects with the core only, not with the edge. And then it says unified CM and IAM and presence service configuration. And if used IAM and presence service or Unity connection, if you are using IAM and presence or Unity connection, then you need to do the configuration of the IAM and presence and the Unity as well. Now it says the protocol summary. So protocol summary is like what all are the protocols which we are going to use in this MRA thing. So mainly we are going to use this one, SIP, that is the most important, then HTTPS connection, HTTPS protocol, media, and the XMPP. So let's start with this SIP. So SIP is mainly used for the session establishment, that is register and the invite message. HTTPS is mainly used for the connection, like logon, provisioning, configuration, directory, and the visual voicemail. Then we have the media. Media is like the audio, video, and the content sharing. Then we have this XMPP protocol. This is mainly used for the instant messaging, presence, and the federation. So the security type would be in SIP, HTTP, and in XMPP, that would be TLS security. And in the media, that would be a secure RTP, because media is traveling between the endpoints. Then the security would be a secure RTP. Secure, we can say secure real-time protocol, right? And then here you can see all the same things, protocol, security, and the services which we just discussed. And all these services, if you can see, all these things would be on the internet thing. As you can see, the same thing. This is the outside firewall. The zone between the two firewall, we call it as an DMZ zone. That is the your expressway. And this is your internal firewall, that is inside the firewall. And this is your things on the intranet, like we connected with the call manager. I'm in presence, Unity, or maybe other conferencing resources. Okay, then we have next thing, that is what we call it as Jabber client connectivity without the VPN. So what is that? MRA solution supports hybrid on-premises as well as cloud-based service model, and it provides consistent experience inside and outside the enterprise. So it's like it doesn't matter whether you are working in the office or you are working at home. If you are connected with the MRL while working at home, it will give you the same experience, just like you can say that you are sitting in the office environment. It will give you the same type of experience, right? And then it says MRA provides a secure connection for Jabber application traffic and other devices with the required capabilities to communicate without having to connect the corporate network over a VPN. So it is providing a secure connection, right? So you are working on like few of the protocols like SIP protocol, and then XMPP as well, and then HTTPS as well, right? And the security it is providing is the SRTP, correct? Then we can say another thing is it is a device and operating system agnostic solution for Cisco Jabber client on Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android platform. So this MRA thing will work on all those things, like whether the Cisco Jabber client is on Windows, is it on Mac, or is it on iOS, or it might be on the Android phones as well. Then it says MRA allows Jabber clients that are outside the enterprises to do these following things. So it would be like everything. It use instant messaging and presence services, make voice and video calls, search the corporate directory, share the content, launch a web conference, and access visual voicemail. So you can do all these things in the MRA as well, right? Now we have next thing, that is deployment scenarios, right? So we will discuss about these deployment scenarios. This section describes the supported deployment environments. So we have three deployment scenarios: MRA with standalone network elements, MRA with clustered network, and MRA with multiple clustered network. So let's start with the MRA with standalone network elements. So here you can see this shows standalone unified call manager, IM and presence service, Expressway Core, and the Expressway Edge servers. So this would be like the same diagram which we were discussing, right? Expressway Core and Expressway Edge. Unified CM is there, one IM and presence is there, Jabber clients are there, right? That's why it named it as standalone network elements, right? They don't have any other like if one Expressway Core goes down, we don't have any other Expressway Core server, or maybe it's not in cluster. It's a standalone one. Now, if we talk about the MRA with the clustered network, so now you can see this Expressway Core is in clustered network, Edge is in clustered network, Call Manager is in clustered network, and the IM and presence is also in clustered. Clustered means it will be having a backup servers as well for sure, right? In this each network element is clustered. Everything is clustered. Now we'll see MRA with multiple clustered network. So here you can see the Jabber client, EX client coming to on the internet. Then after the firewall, they will be having two expressway edge, the first one and the second one, and both are clustered. And then once it comes to the expressway core, then again they are having two expressway cores, right? And that too in clustered network. So this expressway core should be having access to the call manager first cluster and to the IMN presence, and to the call manager second cluster and to the IMN presence. This one, right? Now the next you will be having this call manager or this expressway core as well. If the call is coming onto this one, then it should also having access on the first IMN presence and the call manager server, and to the second one as well. As you can see in the diagram, it is already connected with everyone. If any call coming up from Jabber to this CUCM, then it can go to this expressway core as well and to this expressway core as well. Then it can go to this expressway edge, and to the internet then. Right? I hope this thing is clear to you. Okay, so let's just read it out. So it says Jabber clients can access their own cluster through any route, and Expressway C uses round robin to select a node, either publisher or subscriber, when routing home cluster discovery requests. That's right. The next thing is each combination of unified CM and IMN presence service clusters must use the same domain. So this IMN presence and this unified CM, they both should use the same domain. And other one, this unified CM and IMN presence, the both should use also the same domain, right? Then it says inter-cluster peering must be set up between IMN presence service clusters, and the inter-cluster sync agent must be active, right? After that, we have this certificates thing, right? So certificate is like what all are the certificates needs to be there whenever you want to generate it, or if you want to like upload the certificates, right? So there would be having one certificate authority server and the normal server. Normal server means on the expressway core, on the expressway edge, meeting server, or the file server. You need to upload these certificates. And there are two certificates, as you can see, public CA certificates and the private CA certificates, like the CA signed certificates, right? So now you can see the first thing, this server, what you need to do, like let's just forget about this thing. This would be the last step actually. Just forget about this one. So let's suppose we are doing it something on the expressway core. We want to generate the certificate and then we want to upload it. So first step would be to generate the CSR, right? You will go to expressway core, go to the certificates, and then you will get an option to generate the CSR. You will generate the CSR. Then next thing would be you will download the CSR, right? So now you have a CSR in your machine or in your, like I can say, that laptop, right? Then next thing would be to upload the CSR. So first you will generate the CSR and downloaded it. And now you can upload the CSR to the authority server, right? Now you need to sign that CSR certificate, right? Through that certificate authority server, you will sign that certificate. I will show it to you in the next part how you will do it with the help of screenshots, how we can do it, how we can generate the CSR, how we can download it, how we can upload it on the authority server, and then how we can sign it, right? Once the certificate is signed, you can see sign CSR, and then you will get signed CER CA certificate. Then you will download that CER and CA certificate. This signed CER and CA certificate, you will get it from the certificate authority server. I'll show you how we can download the CER and CA certificates. And once you download it from the authority server, then you need to upload this signed CER and CA certificate on the server through which you generated the CSR, right? and you need to repeat these steps. You need to repeat these steps for the Expressway Edge as well. It's not like you need to just do it for one Expressway core. No, if you're in clustered environment, then also you need to do it on a different Expressway core and the Expressway Edge, right? As you can see, this one Expressway core and Expressway Edge, you need to do on the same. So this CER would be unique signed, right? But CA certificate would be same for both Expressway Edge and Expressway Core. As you can see in this one, we have CER and CA certificates, right? So the CA certificate would be same for both Expressway Edge and Expressway Core, but the CER would be unique signed for Expressway Edge as well as for Expressway Core, right? Then next thing that is also a very important thing, that is DNS part, right? It says endpoints should always search for CUCM SRV records first. So what is this CUCM SRV records first? So as if you want to register the Jabber, which is on the internet, so how it will reach out to the Expressway Edge? That would be the question in your mind. How it will reach out to the Expressway Edge? So that is like that request will go to the public DNS, and in the DNS we will add the SRV records. If you don't know about this private DNS, the public DNS, how it works, you can go and check out my video on the Jabber boot up process, internal as well as external, right? So you need to add these SRV records on the DNS, and then on the DNS you will mention the Expressway Edge IP. If you are configuring on public DNS, then would be the Expressway Edge IP. If you are something configuring it on the private DNS, then it would go to the like CUCM, right? So it says endpoints should always search for CUCM SRV records first. Then endpoint should search for the Expressway Edge, because in the SRV records you will find the Expressway Edge server IP or the host name, right? Endpoint should not search for Expressway Edge unless it's on the outside of the network, right? So if it's on the internet, then only it would search out for the Expressway Edge, because Expressway Edge is on the internet side. And then it says external DNS service record. So what DNS SRV record you need to put in the public DNS? That would be this one, underscore collab edge dot underscore TLS dot your domain name. Like let's suppose here it's xyz.com, right? Or maybe you can say just a cisco.com, right? So let me show you the public DNS SRV queries for two Expressway Edge servers. So let's suppose you have two Expressway Edge servers. Domain is xyz.com. Service would be this one, underscore collab hyphen edge dot. Protocol would be TLS. This is the priority, this is the wait, and this is the port number. And then the target host would be Expressway Edge 1 expe1 dot xyz.com. So how it works for the SRV record, it would be underscore collab hyphen edge dot underscore TLS. So it would combine this service as well as this protocol, that is a security, underscore collab hyphen edge dot underscore TLS dot expe1 dot xyz.com, right? So that is your target host. This is Expressway Edge 1 dot cisco.com, right? Let's suppose like it's a cisco.com. Then it would be same for the another one as well, like the another Expressway Edge server. Here you can see this is Expressway Edge 1, this is Expressway Edge 2, and this is the SIP service, and you need to add this one as well, underscore SIPs dot underscore TCP, and then this domain, that is xyz.com for Expressway Edge 1 and for the Expressway Edge 2. These entries you need to add on the public DNS, right? As here you can see, this is for the internal DNS SRV records. For internal, you need to add the Cisco UDS and the cup login. This is for presence. So underscore Cisco hyphen UDS dot underscore TCP and then dot xyz.com or the I can say the CUCM dot or cisco.com. And then under this SRV record, you will put the CUCM IP, and under this record, we can say you will put the IAM and presence IP. Let's suppose this one, this is the private DNS for two CUCM and two IAM and presence servers, correct? So here you can see domain is xyz.com, service is this one, protocol is this one, priority, wait, port, everything would be same. Target host, this is our target host, that is cucm1.xyz.com. So whole SRV record would be underscore CSS, underscore Cisco hyphen UDS dot underscore TCP dot xyz.com, right? And under this SRV record, you would put CUCM1 IP because under this record, my target host would be CUCM1. For another one, I will put CUCM2 IP. For this cup login, I will put IAM and presence 1 and IAM and presence 2 IP details or the host name, right? So this cup login would be underscore cup login dot underscore TCP dot this xyz.com. I hope this thing is clear to you, that private DNS service record or the public DNS service record, right? So that completed our first part on MRA, and on the next part we will discuss about all the configuration on the Expressway Edge as well as on the Expressway Core. So I hope you learned something from this video, and if you really like this video, then please hit like, share, and subscribe it with your friends. And please press the bell icon so that you will get notifications of all my upcoming